Drugs used to be behind doors, closed doors. Everything used to have discretion about it. Okay? There's no more discretion. Things that come out in the open.
Now, what really makes it so bad, man, is that our communities, man, we used to have a sense of pride in our community. We don't have that no more. We don't have that pride no more, man.
In this environment, there's less hope. You know what I mean? There's less chances. You got, you know what I mean? You at the bottom of the totem pole. I mean, you have a big section, a pretty big section of Philadelphia that is just going down. I mean, these abandoned homes, people, I mean, you know, not able to, I would say, pay their taxes or keep their house up. I mean, you got people living in these, you know, in these homes. I mean, they're being turned into shooting galleries. I mean, crime happens, rape, muggings, prostitution.
But how does something like that happen? Steve Lopez is a columnist for the Philadelphia Inquirer. He's been visiting this neighborhood for more than 10 years.
We're surrounded by what was a heavy industrial area. And that was the backbone of this city and every one of these little neighborhoods. And you can still see where there was a mom and pop grocery store in a corner, and there was a tavern and a funeral home, and all of these businesses that fed off of the factories that were all around here. And no matter how badly you might have screwed up in your life, when you were done with school, and most people finished with school, there was a job waiting for you at the factory. And as you look around now, the factories are just shells. So the economy is gone.
Fight down, fight down.
People can't live if they don't have enough to live on. They want to take the food stamps. They want to take the education program. They want to take the money. So what you supposed to do?
Are they giving out jobs? No. If they was giving out jobs, do you think these people will be on these corners today doing what they're doing to get money to survive, to take care of their family? No.
But you know what? If you go to a big drug dealer and you say, hey, I'm willing to work for you, I'm willing to watch, I'm willing to call the cops, you know, I'm call for the cops. I'm willing to sell your drugs for you, you understand? I'm willing to work diligently. Guess what? They'll say, here, go ahead. You can work for, you can
now
work.
You got money.
You can work for me. Now you have money. Now you have an opportunity to work, okay? But what is that?
If you stand in a corner, you'll see license plates from New Jersey. You'll see plates from the main line. You'll see that on some corners, half or better of the customers are white people from the suburbs. So it's not just that there's misery in this neighborhood and that's why it's here. It's because, you know, we want to pretend that this doesn't exist. And that if it does exist, that the answer is, you know, more cops. Let's get some more cops out there. Let's cut off that supply. And hiring more cops to cure crime is like hiring more ambulance drivers to cure cancer. It's not really a criminal problem.
It's a problem of diminishing options. When the drug trade first came to this neighborhood, some of the residents tried to hold out. This used to be Arthur Stinson's house. No, it was his home, and he was trying to raise his 4 grandnephews here. 3 years ago, the drug trade began spilling over out of the old Quaker cemetery onto the sidewalk right across the street.
I can't even invite some of my closest friends over because I don't want. Now let's say you want to see a movie, they go to my movie. I don't have to go to the theater. My theater is across the street. It's living large. They're doing it all, so what the can you say? They not only shooting, they here smoking, they here buying, they know what everything's going on. And I try to keep them from in front of my house. I call the cops up all the time. Don't park on my sidewalk. You don't live here. We don't do nothing. I don't have enough people in this neighborhood to back me. So I'm not a lone ranger. I will never try to be alone. But if they give me permission, I shoot every goddamn one of them. If I had permission.
So what does he tell his nephew?
Walk away, look away from it, but he can't. How can he turn his eyes? He's not blind. His name not Ray Charles. His name is Drake. He could see. I cannot stop him from seeing what's going on.
Excuse me, miss. You're going to have to back up.
The city has made sporadic attempts to deal with the problem.
I don't feel like my house no more.
During the summer of '92, there was Operation Genesis. It had a nice Old Testament flavor. The idea was to drive the dealers and junkies out by tearing down their hideouts, their shooting galleries. But dreadful as they were, some of the houses slated for demolition were also homes. Sonia Ortiz lived in one of them.
I got 4 kids, I struggle very hard to get what I have. One day to another, they came and said that it's gone. I don't think it's fair. I know it's not a good area. I know that, but it was all I have.
And when the workmen were done, that was it. No one ever came back to rebuild. No new housing was put up for the residents who wanted to make the Badlands livable. Where buildings stood 3 years ago, now there are only vacant lots, covered with tall weeds, full of trash, drug vials, needles. The junkies are still shooting up here, although more likely than not, they've moved into what's left of Arthur Stinson's old home. He and his nephews finally moved out. The only variety of pride that flourishes here anymore is the perverse kind.
This neighborhood has been given the title of the Badlands.
We right in the heart of drug land.
This neighborhood is just full of pain.
Most of the buildings have no running water, no electricity, anything like that. Sometimes, to earn a few dollars, they may let other people come in, and do their drugs, and it would, pretty much charge them for that, charge them like $1.
So they're turning the houses into shooting galleries? Or?
Pretty much, some of them, yeah, they would do, because actually they really don't have no other way to make no money.
The addicts and the squatters live side by side, co-conspirators in desperation, although several of the gutted buildings have been taken over totally by the junkies. A couple of weeks ago, a fire on the second floor of this house temporarily forced the users out into the harsh sunlight. But as soon as the fire trucks left, it was back to business as usual. If the house looks vaguely familiar, it should. This is where Arthur Stinson and his 4 grandnephews used to live. Now, it's one of the sights on the tour.
This is a known hit house. You want to go in? Sure. Come on in.
In the Badlands, even the cops have street names. His is Batman.
Don't run, don't run, don't run. Y'all know the deal. Don't run. Ladies, 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 don't run. Don't run. Listen, we know who you are. I know who you are, don't you?
Yes.
All right then. So if I wanted you, I could have you, right?
Right.
So we just viewing, maybe this can help us get you some help. You know what I mean? If you ever decide you want some help.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So what will it take to get you to detox?
Just the subway.
Subway.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get out. I have a family I want to take care of. I have come from good stock. I mean, most of us in here come from good stock. We're church people. Our families are good people.
Yeah.
But we get caught up in here. Then when you go into detox, they told me I could have 1 day. What kind of is that?
This is not a life that we really want to be in. This is a life that
we got caught up in.
We didn't know that it would lead into this.
You know one thing? We are nowhere near as bad as them damn crackheads.
Right.
Where we be at, we only be where we be at. We don't be running around lifting nobody's car, taking nobody's stuff, none of that.
That's the difference. Most of us make an honest living.
I'm
I'm a vendor. I sell clothes.
I'll let you say
I go to the warehouse, I buy clothes, I sell my hats. I sell hats and little hula hoops. They call me, I sell hula hoops, hats, and whatnot. And you know how the Koreans have the wholesale houses set up?
Right.
That's what I do. Then some of us sell works.
Yeah.
And the point is what it is we try to, it might sound funny, but we try to make an honest living.
True.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how a guy and a woman can make an honest living, within this,
it's
addict community.
hustling.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. The addicts call this man the doctor.
Why? Because you help them shoot up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no claim to fame, but
No,
that's
I was gonna say that is no claim to fame.
Not
That's
at all.
Tell you
I
what,
carry
he
my
helps
share of
more
guilt.
people than what he, all right, because if they didn't, they would end up everything is, even though this doesn't look like much, everyone uses clean needles.
Right.
We carry our own water.
Are you afraid of this place?
No.
Why not? I mean, there's some pretty hard people here.
Yeah, I know, but in spite of what it looks like, if I got in trouble out here, I used to think that if I ever got in trouble out here, nobody would come to my aid. Well, I believe these guys would.
What's going on over there?
That's another hit house. That's
Another hit house.
Yeah, that's major.
Looks like a lot of activity over there, right?
The rule is like I said, the rule is that you do it away. If we can't stop it, just don't do it in front of the kids, because there was a time they did it so blatantly in front of the children until I stayed on top of them. I was like, I was just locking up guys, beating my head. When they do it back there, at least the children don't see it.
Richard Safford, that is his real name, has tailored a special brand of pragmatism for the Badlands. Perhaps he does not always do what the law would demand, but he does what he can.
Some drugs here.
This is a world unlike anything that most of us inhabit, a world in which real families with terribly vulnerable children try to keep the world of drugs at bay with a caricature of a barricade bisecting Percy Street. Tombstone, himself an addict, acknowledges that it may be a triumph of hope over expectation.
Maybe 3 out of 10 kids will make it out of this neighborhood and become something constructive. The other 4 stay in the neighborhood and continue to carry on what's going on like you see now. The rest of them are either wind up